He would be very proud of me, of course. Um, I would just hope that that he would be. I'm sure he would understand what I'm up against as well, and I think he would be. I feel music's important. I know that's there, but I need to. I feel that music changes things and helps people, and it's just really that's what it's about.
It was too tough to witness one's own father lying dead in the washroom. The thing that became the support of a teen girl at the time of her father's death became the reason for his young son's death, and she couldn't do anything. I'm talking about Lisa Marie, the only daughter of rock and roll king, Elvis. She finally opened the hidden layer of her life. So without any further ado, let's take a trip. Lisa Marie Presley was born on February 1st, 1968, at Baptist Memorial Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. She was the only child of the legendary rock and roll singer Elvis Presley and actress Priscilla Presley. Her birth came just 9 months after her parents' wedding, marking the beginning of a life that would be closely watched by the public due to her father's immense fame. Growing up at Graceland, the family mansion in Memphis, Lisa Marie enjoyed a childhood filled with unique experiences. It was impossible for anyone else to understand how close Lisa Marie Presley was to her father, Elvis Presley. She often talked about her father as both a rock star and a fun dad while she was growing up in Graceland. Their relationship was filled with unconventional moments that showed how much Elvis loved having fun and was dedicated to being a good father. She often described her father as an exciting and engaging parent. Elvis had been very clear from the start that he wanted to be a big part of Lisa Marie's life. A gentle nudge wasn't enough to wake her up in the middle of the night. He would sing her favorite songs instead. In interviews, she talked about how much she loved how he would wake her up in the middle of the night to sing. This wasn't just a habit. It was a special time for them to connect over music, making moments that Lisa Marie would always treasure. She fondly recalled riding around Graceland in golf carts with him. They became famous for how playful they were with each other. Lisa Marie thought back to when she and her dad would jump on tables and play together like they were kids. These times were full of happiness and laughter, which was very different from the stress of their public lives. Lisa felt loved and special because Elvis could turn everyday events into amazing adventures. Elvis raised his children in a very different way. Even at home, he was never seen in his pajamas. He was always seen dressed perfectly. Lisa Marie said, "You'd never see him in anything but ready to be seen, clothes." He paid a lot of attention to how he looked, which showed that he was a big-hearted person who wanted to show his daughter that he was always ready for an adventure. However, Lisa Marie's early life was not without its challenges. Their relationship had its ups and downs, despite all the attention they got. Her parents divorced when she was just 4 years old. Lisa Marie moved in with her mother in Los Angeles after Elvis and Priscilla split. Despite this change, she maintained a close relationship with her father, frequently visiting him at Graceland. Tragically, when Lisa Marie was only 9 years old, Elvis passed away unexpectedly in August 1977. This event profoundly impacted her. She was one of the first to find him after he collapsed at home. Elvis and Lisa had a bond that went beyond what most fathers and daughters have. Lisa Marie had a lot of friends and looked up to Elvis. He wasn't just her dad. She talked a lot about how much he'd affected her life and work. He died too soon when she was only 9 years old. But the memories of the times they spent together were still very clear in her mind. When Lisa Marie thought back on their time together, she said, "I remember him as my dad, but he was a very exciting dad." It says all about their relationship, love, excitement, and unforgettable times that shaped her early years. After Elvis Presley's death on August 16th, 1977, Lisa Marie Presley's life changed in a terrible way. Being the first person to find her dying father was the worst thing that could have happened to her. She was only 9 years old. This incident permanently changed her mind and would affect how she felt for many years to come. The picture of her father lying still in the bathroom scared her and gave her a deep sense of loss that would last her whole life. Lisa Marie found it hard to deal with her sadness after Elvis's death. The world around her changed a lot. She wasn't just the daughter of a famous rock star. She was now a young girl who was missing her dad. She tried very hard to fill the hole that the loss had made. At the start of her teenage years, this hole led her down a dark road. With the help of drugs, she tried to escape the pain and confusion she was feeling by the time she was 13. The appeal of drugs turned into a way for her to self-medicate, and they helped her forget about the pain of losing her father for a while. Lisa Marie's relationship with her mother, Priscilla Presley, got tense during these formative years because they had different views and ways of life. When Priscilla tried to help Lisa Marie, her daughter often fought back because she felt alone and confused. They were tense with each other because their personalities and ideals did not agree. Priscilla was very concerned with keeping up a certain public image, which was very different from Lisa Marie's wild spirit and desire for freedom. Lisa Marie looked for comfort in many places, including the church, during this time of trouble. But her problems with addiction and feelings of being alone made this connection harder to make. She started using illegal drugs to try to get back in charge of her life and find some peace. During this time, she went through what she later called a self-destruct mode, in which she used dangerous behavior as a way to deal with her unresolved grief and mental pain. Because Priscilla was worried about her daughter's health, she tried to help by bringing Lisa to Scientology. Even though Priscilla thought this could give Lisa order and support during these rough times, it was yet another thing that made them fight. It made Lisa feel trapped and pressured by these standards, which made their relationship even more difficult. Scientology didn't help her feel better. Instead, it made her feel more alone and confused. Lisa had to deal with grief, addiction, and family problems as a teenager. It was like a perfect storm that could have engulfed her. She got stuck in a pattern of drug abuse that would last until she was an adult. The drugs were both a way out and a jail. They eased the pain temporarily, but led to bigger problems in the long run. There were times when Lisa tried to get help and escape the grip of her addiction despite these problems. She saw that the road she was on couldn't last, so she started looking for ways to get better. But every time she tried to get better, she failed because her father's reputation weighed heavily on her. How Lisa's life changed after Elvis's death showed how stress can change someone's life. As she went through life, the memories of her father's love stayed with her and the problems she faced. It was a link that wouldn't go away and kept her going. The challenges of Lisa didn't end up here. She faced additional hardships. Her mother began dating actor Michael Edwards, who reportedly abused Lisa Marie during her teenage years. This traumatic experience added to the challenges she faced as she navigated life under the shadow of her father's legacy. Despite these difficulties, Lisa Marie found solace in music and eventually pursued a career as a singer-songwriter. Her early life experiences shaped not only who she became as an artist, but also how she viewed her family's legacy. Through it all, she remained connected to the memory of her father and aimed to honor his influence on her life and career. After the death of her father, Elvis Presley, Lisa found herself under the care of her grandparents, Vernon and Gladys Presley. However, this period of stability was short-lived, as both her grandparents passed away within a few years of each other. At just 9 years old, Lisa Marie was left without her father and grandparents, the three most influential people in her life. As the sole heir to Elvis's estate, Lisa Marie's connection to Graceland, the family's iconic mansion in Memphis, Tennessee, became even more profound. The property, which Elvis had purchased in 1957 for $102,500, held a special place in Lisa Marie's heart. It was the place where she had spent countless hours playing with her father, exploring the grounds, and creating cherished memories that would stay with her for a lifetime. Graceland, a 13.8-acre estate, was more than just a house to Lisa Marie. The mansion, built in the colonial revival style, featured a large house with later additions, a number of outbuildings, and beautiful landscape features. The property, which was originally established as a 500-acre farm during the American Civil War, had been in the Toa family for almost 100 years before Elvis purchased it. When Lisa Marie turned 25 in 1993, she officially inherited Graceland, according to a document that named her mother, Priscilla Presley, as trustee. This moment marked a significant turning point in her life, as she now had the responsibility of preserving her father's legacy and ensuring that Graceland remained a place of joy and inspiration for his millions of fans around the world. In the years that followed, Lisa Marie made several changes to Graceland, including the addition of a new exhibit complex called Elvis Presley's Memphis, which features a car museum, Presley Motors, and a studio for Sirius Satellite Radio's All Elvis Presley channel. The property also includes two of Elvis's private jets, the Lisa Marie and the Hound Dog 2, which are on permanent display for visitors to enjoy. Despite the challenges she faced in her personal life, Lisa Marie remained committed to keeping Graceland alive and thriving. She understood the importance of her father's legacy and the impact it had on people around the world. By opening Graceland to the public, she allowed fans to connect with Elvis's memory and experience the magic of his life and music firsthand. Despite the challenges and tragedies that marked her life, Lisa Marie Presley found solace and inspiration in following in her father's footsteps as a musician. From a young age, She was immersed in the world of music, attending concerts, and absorbing the energy of live performances. This early exposure to her father's craft would ultimately shape her own musical journey. In the late 1990s, Lisa Marie began to seriously pursue her passion for music, working tirelessly on her debut album. She spent over a decade meticulously crafting her sound, determined to create something that would honor her father's legacy while still being uniquely her own. This dedication and attention to detail paid off when she finally released her first album, To Whom It May Concern, in 2003. The album was a critical and commercial success, debuting at number 5 on the Billboard 200 chart and earning positive reviews from music critics. Lisa Marie's second album, Now What, was released in 2005 and continued to showcase her growth as an artist. The album featured a duet with her father, Don't Cry Daddy, which was created by blending her vocals with archival recordings of Elvis. This collaboration was a poignant reminder of the bond they shared and the influence he had on her music. In 2012, Lisa Marie released her third and final album, Storm and Grace. The album, produced by T-Bone Burnett, marked a shift in her sound with a more stripped-down, Americana-inspired style. Critics praised the album as her strongest and most personal work to date, with Lisa Marie's lyrics reflecting on her tumultuous life experiences. Throughout her musical career, Lisa Marie drew inspiration from her father's legacy while still carving out her own unique path. She often spoke about the importance of honoring her father's memory while still being true to herself as an artist. In an interview, she reflected on the challenges of living in the shadow of such an iconic figure, saying, "I'm trying to have my own thing, and I don't know if it's even possible. I didn't realize so many people actually think I'm trying to be like my dad. I read comments like, 'She's no Elvis.' I'm not trying to be. I never set out to be." Despite the pressure of living up to her father's legacy, Lisa Marie found solace in sharing the stage with him. Throughout her life, Lisa Marie remained dedicated to preserving her father's legacy. Lisa Marie's music career, though relatively short, was a testament to her resilience and dedication to her craft. Despite the challenges she faced, she remained committed to honoring her father's legacy while still forging her own path as an artist. Lisa's life had both happy times and hard times, especially when it came to her ties with other people. She was born into a world of fame and wealth as the only daughter of Elvis Presley, but this also came with its own complications. Her journey through 4 marriages shows how complicated love can be and how much her father's death hurt her. Danny Keough was her first husband, and they got married in 1988. They had a strong bond that started when they were teenagers, and together they had 2 children, Riley and Benjamin. But in 1994, after 6 years together, they split up. Even though they broke up amicably, it was the start of Lisa's rough love life. Lisa Marie married pop star Michael Jackson in a very public ceremony just a few weeks after her split from Keough. Their short marriage, only 2 years before they got split in 1996, became a media spectacle, both because it was full of famous people and because it ended so quickly. There were a lot of problems in the relationship, like the fact that the public and the media were very interested in it and put a lot of pressure on both of them. Lisa Marie was engaged to star Nicolas Cage for a short time in 2002 after her divorce from Jackson. Their short-lived relationship ended with a marriage that lasted only 3 months. Many people were confused about her choices and emotions after seeing how quickly they got married and then broke up. Later, Cage said he was heartbroken that they were no longer together, pointing out that Lisa's problems with her identity and memory often cast a shadow over their relationship. Lisa Marie married musician Michael Lockwood in 2006. Lockwood had been her musical director while she was making her record, Now What. At first, this relationship looked like it would work out well. In 2008, they had twin girls, Finley and Harper. But as time went on, their relationship started to show signs of wear and tear. In 2016, Lisa Marie filed for divorce, saying that she and her husband could no longer get along. She went to rehab soon after they broke up for problems with drugs because this time was especially hard for her. The divorce procedures were messy and got a lot of attention because there were disagreements about money and who would have custody of their children. Lisa Marie struggled with feelings of not being good enough and loneliness during these interactions. Being Elvis Presley's daughter put a lot of pressure on her personal life. She often felt like her partners were more interested in her father's reputation than in her as a person. There were also outside stresses on Lisa's marriage, like the constant attention from the media and the expectations people had of her as a public figure. That seemed to be how her childhood was after Elvis died, as each connection came with its own set of problems. She never fully got over losing her father when she was so young. The mental scars that it left behind showed up as insecurities that made it hard for her to connect with other people. Lisa said she wanted to make real connections with people, but she was stuck in cycles of sadness and disappointment. Each marriage ended not only as a failure for the person involved, but also as a new part of a life marked by loss and longing. She found comfort in her singing, but she also had problems with addiction and personal demons that could get in the way of her healing and self-discovery. Even with all of these problems, she stayed committed to her children and hoped to give them a safe home amidst the chaos that had been a big part of her life. And unfortunately, Lisa's son Benjamin took his life under the influence of drugs at the age of 27. It was so sad to witness the entire Presley clan due to the influence of drugs. So here's the detailed life of Lisa Marie. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos. And don't forget to tell in the comments if Lisa's life was really exciting for her.